GOP candidates are courting Representative Steve King and his Iowa voters. Just before the show, Representative King came out front with his thoughts on the GOP field and pheasant shooting. Yes, 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 with Governor Rick Perry.
We did have great shooting all the time that we were there, so I would just count it as a really good day out in the field. And whenever you can go out and pick up a shotgun and have a day like that, that builds a memory that you don't forget for a lifetime. I'm
sure. Now, how did Governor Perry do? Is he as good with a shotgun as he says he is?
You know, if I had to say, there were a couple of times that I had to back him up, but there were a couple of times he had to back me up. All in all, he held his own very well. And there's no exaggeration on his part, the way he characterized it. He's a good shooter, and you can tell by the way he handles himself.
All right. Well, you had endorsed Fred Thompson in 2007, which, by all accounts, was very important for Mr. Thompson, and Iowa gave him a strong third place showing ahead of John McCain. So what's your feeling after spending time with Governor Perry? What did you talk about? What sense of the man did you get?
You know, it's pretty hard to get very deeply into that when you've got all of that action that we had, and the action was so good, and that I'm reluctant to tell you how good. I'll just say that as I view him he's very comfortable out there in the field. He's comfortable around people. He does a good job of engaging with all the new faces that I saw him introduced to. He made it a point to repeat their name back to them, and I saw that he remembered some of those names. I'm impressed by that. It's one of the things that I struggle with. But I think he's a good listener. I think that you know, his instincts on the 10th Amendment are very good. He wants to reduce the power of the federal government and devolve those powers back to the states. That's part of his overall philosophy.
So are you ready to endorse anyone? And in particular, what's your sense of the economic plans? Obviously, Governor Perry is going to be putting forth that flat tax. You've got Mr. Kane with a flat slash sales tax.
Well, I have been, for a lifetime, a fair taxer. I've spent my career pushing the fair tax. I understand it. I devised it long before I ever heard that anybody else was thinking about it. And, of course, I didn't devise the bill, but I devised the strategy. And so that's one of those economic components that I don't see out here in the field right now. I'm not going to get everything I want, and nobody in America is going to get everything they want in an individual candidate, probably. But the economic proposals that are out here, the 999 versus the flat tax, look at these pieces. I think what's really missing is a presidential candidate that can paint that vision, that dream for America. At least one of the candidates needs to convince us that they not only see where America needs to go, but they can articulate a way to take us there. And those two components, I don't think, have been put together correctly yet by the presidential candidates.
All right. Well, thanks very much. Appreciate your taking the time, Representative King.
Thank you very much, Aaron.
All right, Jennifer Jacobs.